Any artist that's a real artist, they'd have to step away for a minute and live life and then come back and give you some introspective music about whatever it is that they're going through at the time. That's why you only hear him talking about hoes and partying or heartbreak from some young girl that he tired of tricking on.
So we're going to watch a short clip here in a second of T-Pain. In a recent interview with the Crash Test Dummies podcast, T-Pain made some comments about Drake not taking his own advice by making a graceful exit. Apparently, Drake responded to this. I didn't see it. I don't follow Drake or anything like that. But
Drake said that don't listen to anything that T-Pain says regarding him because he's always spoke with him with vitriol.
Interesting. Okay. It's so interesting how online Drake is.
He sees everything.
That's what I mean. So
here's the crazy thing. One thing I learned from Drake, but one thing he hasn't followed his own words. Drake said, I want to be one of them people that gracefully bow out and not get kicked out. Drake is like, no, listen, okay, I got another one. Hold on, check this out. Check this out. Y'all didn't like that one? Okay, real quick, just one more. Let me try one more. And then he's the person that he said, he didn't want to be. And I learned that from him. Like when he said that, I want to gracefully bow out and not get kicked out. I was like, you know what?
Does T-Pain have a point about Drake's recent approach to releasing music post-battle?
We got to understand Nokia, by the metrics that the music industry cares about, is a hit record. Now, is it something that I've heard out a bunch? I mean, I'm not in those spaces like that anymore. Maybe if I was still at the Casbah, I'd hear Nokia. But I can look at the charts and say, okay, well, this is still a top 20 record, at one point a top 10 record. But, it doesn't have the saturation that those Kendrick Lamar songs that are hits have, So technically, Drake can say, I'm still doing better than 90% of all artists by being able to chart my records. So why should I say I can't gracefully bow out when I'm still a hit maker?
I think a lot of that comes from Drake actually himself saying that he's going to take time off and never does. It's kind of like even at the end of the albums, I'm going to take a little time off and reflect and do this, that, and the third. And then a month later, here's another song. It's like, that's not a break. So I understand what T-Pain is saying. I don't think he's in a position to where you can say that Drake is done. Where he's not the same type of artist as T-Pain. Now, mind you, T-Pain did dominate the radio for a long time, radio club, whatever you want to call it. But, once the whole death of auto-tune thing kind of came out, that kind of put a little hit on his career. People weren't coming to him for the hooks like they were before. And
that's sad.
Drake hasn't suffered that type of loss yet. Because even with this whole Kendrick thing, he still has fans that are going to pay attention and listen to his music. But he does throw a lot of at the wall, hoping that it sticks. Because even before the Nokia came out, he had the Hey There Delilah bull that he dropped, which was like, why would he do that? Especially coming off of a rap battle. There was no reason for him to do that. It's almost like he has to say something just to say something to act like it's not affecting him. But, same token, he is out here to be an artist, so you might as well be an artist while you're here.
I beg to differ. I think that he has taken a lot on the scale of a death of auto-tune type of loss. Unfortunately, that's what lets me know that he's a hit maker, but he don't live his raps. He might live his raps, but they not his raps. And the only reason I believe that is because, like you said, he don't take time to live. Any artist that's a real artist, they'd have to step away for a minute and live life and then come back and give you some introspective music about whatever it is that they're going through at the time. That's why you only hear him talking about hoes and partying or heartbreak from some young girl that he tired of tricking on. You know what
Pretty
I mean?
much, yeah. Same topics.
Yeah.
His albums all sound the same.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is the people that really rock with him don't care.
Right.
And those same people, regardless of what just happened with Kendrick, are still not going to care. Because he's still topic of discussion right now. There's stuff about his album that's supposed to be coming out called Iceman. I've probably seen 3 or 4 posts about that today. And then as soon as he starts posting on social media, then those become headlines just because he made an Instagram post
with the plastic surgery.
Oh, that was crazy. That's wild.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like I think that's what T-Pain is saying. You know what I mean? Because we've always known him to be somewhat corny, but ever since Kendrick really exposed him to being corny, being corny, it's just more and more corn that you end up seeing. You know what I mean?
Corn and porn.
Yeah, you just continue to see it coming from this dude, and like the records are not really landing like they once did. He came out with that 3-pack, you know, where he dropped with all the extra old videos and stuff like that.
About the hard drive.
Yeah. He dropped that. None of those records really landed. It's some new song that he just dropped with another artist. That's not really sticking, man. Like,
yeah, they were trying to call that the song of the summer.
Yeah, man.
Like, no, nobody's even heard that song.
I
don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
It's not good.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Like, and kudos to him for always trying something different. He'll give you something different. But I was completely done on that album with Party Next Door, whatever that Spanish record was, where
I want to meet your madre, say que pasa con your padre, amor.
I said, what in the hell is the, and not only that, you put it out, bro.
Because he ain't got nobody on his team telling him that he shouldn't be doing this shit. But
he's
trying to save face right now. He's trying to act like this is not affecting him, which is wild because there's a whole lawsuit going on, and you're still trying to act like it doesn't affect you.
I'm seeing a Kanye level crash out coming from him.
You think it's that bad?
I don't know if it could be that bad.
Man, it's not that bad because he's not really. He's doing everything to himself. You know what I mean? Like that video. I mean that photo with the abs,
the V12.
Bro. Like, man, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, how you gonna drop an ab picture and your abs don't match no other part of your body? You don't just get abs by themselves.
What you gotta do? You forgot to buy the arms to go with it.
It's called a core, so you have to work around your core and build it up.
I mean, it's
everything else is going to get, you know what I'm saying, fit before your abs do.
It's just like the women who go out and buy the ass and forget to get the legs to go with it, so they wind up looking like wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake has kind of, in the last couple of years, even before the battle, been in a bit of, he's always in damage control. You know, because when he put out that one, I guess, dance club electric album.
At the same time as Beyonce put out hers.
Yeah, something like that.
He beat her to it.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, he's like, at the end of the album, like, he's like, well, let me give you a song with, like,
with 21 Savage. Yeah.
And then let me give you a whole project with 21 Savage. And then, you know, it's to let you know I can do this and I'm still here. And then I'll do this pop sound or this island sound. But let me jump back over here real quick. It was like, I think Drake's problem has been the consistency, and people are, Drake, if you're going to do an R&B album, let's do an R&B album. Let's get to it.
That's what he needs to do.
If you're going to do a rap album, do a rap album. Don't, it's almost like he's apologizing for whatever he does by saying, okay, well, I gave you that because that was kind of what I was feeling at the time. But hey, this is who I really am, guys. Remember me? Remember Drake? Remember Drake?
That's the thing, though. This is something that Kendrick and Pusha both said. He does not know who he really is.
That's what I was going to say. He doesn't have any type of identity out of the corny stuff.
Yeah.
Like, his identity is the corny stuff. So, like, T-Pain kind of does make a really good point. Like, I think, you know, Drake's massive, but like, if Drake just disappeared for a little while and got his together and then came back with something that was quality again, rather than what he's been doing, rather than all the nonsense, rather than the lawsuit, generally speaking, most people have a short attention span for this stuff, and they're just going to forget it and come back to the music. But he's just like hitting us over and over again with stupid, corny thing over and over. It's just like, I've been over Drake since before it started, but like, so I can't really speak to like if it's too much or not, but like, it feels like it is, but it's felt like it has been for a long time.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. You need to make the people that actually rock with you miss you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Versus
but
just putting out stuff just to be doing it.
I think, but that he's conditioned his people to miss him in 6 to 9 months. So that's not really a thing. Yeah, I don't really think that's the issue. But the thing is, if you're a Drake fan, you are not used to quality music.
Right.
You're used to music for the moment. He'll give you something. You're gonna listen to it for 3 or 4 months, and then you're gonna wait for the next Drake project.
Yeah. And to your point, like, sure, some of his music can be quote unquote quality-esque, but there's a different level of quality when you care about like where it comes from. And I know I'm speaking in like hyperbole or whatever, but like that's the main difference between like a Kendrick and Drake in general. Like, Drake is just making music to feel cool while he's popular. That's all he's doing.
Even Cole. You know what I mean? Cole will step away for a minute and disappear, and then he will come back and tell you what's going on with him. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna get that from him.
I don't think
Drake.
Yeah.
Wale do it. All of the people in that class, they do that.
But he's under the tutelage of Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne's the same way, really, for the most part.
Wayne will disappear. He just don't have nothing else new to talk about.
But it's kind of the
same thing.
Similar though.
Yep.
You know, like it's like who their target audience is doesn't care about them as individuals. They just care about
growth.
Just give me the hot.
Yeah.
You know, at least that's what it feels like.
And like, I think I said it last time we talked about Wayne and his projects. Like, somebody made a post talking about, they were talking about how nobody from the Young Money camp, none of them grew up with their audience.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you could tell by their music, the type, like, none of the stuff that they talk about, at me as a 42-year-old man, none of that stuff registers with me anymore.
Well, because they tried to, even with Wayne, throw out a remix to one of the songs and put Nicki on it, and people were like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
That's not really what you need to help out your situation right now. And this is where a lot of artists, like, they've studied Jay-Z, but they've studied him to the detriment of, you know, their art. Just like the people who say, well, I don't write, because, you know, and a lot of people start saying that after Jay-Z. No, you need to write. You need to sit down and write. You know, like the people, at one point, remember Jay-Z from like 96 till whenever the Black Album came out, he put out a record every year. You know, now he talked about different things on all of those records. You know, but I don't know if that's the blueprint that Drake is trying to, ironically, trying to follow blueprint. But everyone can't do that. Most artists don't have something interesting to say every 12 months, or you know, and with Drake, it's sometimes 6 to 9 months.
He just feels more like I don't want to call Drake not an artist, but
a product.
He is more of a product. Like, he's more so like it's like, all right, cool. Let's say we're going to put something together. Some people come to the table with something and figure out like, all right, how can I market this? And some people come to the table and be like, here's how we're going to market it. Now let's make something that fits in this mold. And that's what Drake is. He's a product, you know, and I feel like Wayne has been recently as well too, but maybe not always, but that's how Drake always has been, as opposed to, like, again, not to compare him, but it's when you look at Kendrick is giving you a different part of him, and then they are marketing it in the particular type of way. Drake is just coming at it. It's just like, what's going to work right now?
And then he uses other people in media to kind of co-sign him. Just like even when he was dropping those singles, he didn't associate himself with those until people gave him a good response. It's like whatever new album he has coming out, I want to say Maul said Drake got a bomb on his hands. Like, he always has to get somebody else to big him up, to make him be like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump in the water then. Yeah. Because somebody else told me to. So I don't know, man.
But it goes back to the product thing. You know, like if you have this piece of art that you want to put out because you're proud of it, then you put it out and you deal with it.
Exactly.
You know?
I can't take nothing Maul says regarding Drake serious at all.
Because, he gargles him.
Man, damn. He said it, not me. But it's very close to that.
You know, but even when you think about Kendrick, honestly, after Mr. Morale, I thought he was going to be like hip hop Sade. We might hear from him. We might not. You know, he was going to be in the mountains with.
We might get that now, though.
Yeah. You know, but especially now that he's taken more financial control over his music. You know, he's made so much money in the last year. You know, with basically his music being licensed or, you know, whatever under his name, and, you know, this tour that's just done huge numbers everywhere it's gone. now he's definitely somebody that does not have to rap to eat. But, Kendrick is one of those people, if you call him out from the mountaintop like Drake did, yeah, he's going to answer you, unless you're Joey Badass.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be a worthy. I think he only said anything about him is just because that's something he been waiting for.
Right.
Like, oh, you, I've been waiting on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God bless, man. And truth be told, that didn't really happen either. He just felt slighted. You know what I mean? Because he didn't do that. He didn't do that verse, and then he came out with him and Cole did that. Cole apologized.
Cole's like, I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight no more.
I'm glad he did, though.
Yeah,
I'm glad he did because it would have been bad for him.
Yeah,
but that's a great example of like
reading the room,
like the Cole, Drake, Kendrick thing. That was a three-person thing for a while when this all dropped, and Cole bowed out. Gracefully said nah, and then just left it roll, and now he can come back, and he can come back under the good graces of pretty much people are still they're gonna mumble and stuff, right? But like
he dropped that diss that really didn't,
and he took it off.
Yeah,
he's like,
he literally deleted it. Like it said, might delete
later. It was like did delete later,
but he also dropped I remember because I did a remix of the Port and the Port one.
Yeah,
it was a good record. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. That's the example of that's the other side of it, maybe.